back to our, did any committee members, I didn't see any hands raised for Mr. Chan. So I'm going to move ahead to our next witness, Judge William Haddad, MENA Government Advisory Council. Judge Haddad.
Thank you, Representative Burke, and I want to thank the committee and Ali McNamara for making this possible. I too am, like Mr. Chan, someone who was not able to be with you on Thursday, so I hope you will indulge me just for a few minutes to present our case. You know, I heard Mr. Chan speak, and I have to tell you that I'm happy that the Chinese American community has 5 representatives downstate. My community, the MENA, Middle East, North Africa, otherwise the Arab American community, has none. And I'd like to make a case for the issue of Southwest Cook County. Now, our objection, our formal objection for this record for the courts or the General Assembly to note is that our people have been excluded as MENA Americans in the adjustments to the General Assembly Redistricting Act. The American Middle East Voters Alliance, of which I am chairman, was founded in 2006 and became a political action committee in 2014. That group has been able to accumulate a proprietary database of 249,000 registered MENA voters in Cook County and the Collier counties here in Illinois. And that is consistent with the estimates of 4.1 to 4.6% of Illinois citizens being from our MENA community. That's a lot of people. Our greatest concentration of Arab Americans or MENA Americans is in Southwest Cook County. And that Southwest sector is the area that I'm focusing on and speaking to you today. There are 64 precincts in that region, from Worth, Payless, Bridgeview, Orland, Stickney, Lyons, all of which can be, I believe, created into a district. We have submitted documentation to Ali McNamara of maps and demographics regarding those areas, showing the last voter turnouts and so on. The maps that we're submitting, though somewhat remote, unsophisticated, I might say, do not disrupt any current representatives from that area, but carve out an area that would represent the large population of MENA Americans there. There are more Palestinian Americans here in Chicago, in this area, than anywhere in the world. And we have the largest population of Palestinians, Jordanians, and Assyrians in this region, as this documentation that I gave to Ms. McNamara bears out. We do have statistics despite the issue with the census. We also are submitting a resolution from our recently formed MENA Governmental Advisory Council, urging you to create a redistricting in Southwest Cook County and to take that into account. Now, I don't want to be too much of a former judge here, okay, but the U.S. Supreme Court said in Gray versus Sanders that local electoral district boundaries should be drawn in accordance with the constitutional principle of one person, one vote, in order to fairly reflect the population in a way that does not dilute a fair reflection of the citizens within that district. However, the Trump census ban on Arab Americans ended the Census Bureau's plans to add MENA Americans to the 2020 census. That's a fact. This prohibition denied Arab Americans their lawful right and opportunity to be counted along with other minorities in the 2020 census. This puts us at allegedly an impediment. However, we're submitting to the General Assembly the fact that the Trump census ban on Arab Americans should not and need not be an impediment to abridging the political rights of Arab Americans in our MENA population here in Illinois, which is quite sizable. We're presenting, and I sent it to Ali McNamara, our studies, empirical evidence from Professor Louise Kanker from Marquette University and other sources that show that there is a basis to redistrict Southwest Cook County, and we submit some drafts of maps that would support that idea. So, okay, we've included it with our testimony, and I'm sending to you, I'm trying to be brief here for your, I know the Illinois game's coming up, and the White Sox really took care of the Cubs last night. I got to mention that as a White Sox fan, I'm a South Sider. Anyways, I've included in our testimony today the MENA Governmental Advisory Council's formal resolution to the General Assembly to redistrict Southwest Cook County to address the concentration of Arab Americans in that region. I've also submitted an overview of the demographic evidence in support of our proposed inclusive redistricting and some examples of maps and population guides to help you along. Now, I am happy that other minorities have been able to prevail upon the General Assembly to allot a redistricting region here and there for minorities. We have been conspicuously omitted, and I urge the General Assembly not to abide by the Trump census ban on Arab Americans that prevented us from being counted formally with the census because there were plans to do so. And I've submitted empirical evidence to support the fact that there is that population we have here based on voter turnouts, assessments, and the 5 years ago, the Census Bureau's decision to include MENA Americans as a separate class to be counted. I thank you for your time today and appreciate your indulgence.
Thank you, Judge. I do see that.
By the way, one more thing, Representative Kelly, Louise Kanker and our experts stand ready to provide any live testimony and their curriculum vitae to support our position here. Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Thank you. And I see Representative Butler has a question. Please proceed, Representative Butler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to, first of all, Judge, could you pronounce your name? I know there's a few different pronunciations.
Well, the nuns at St. Catherine of Siena called me Haddad, and now the Arab American community calls me Haddad, and my daughter calls me Haddad now. So
those of us from good Peoria heritage usually say Haddad too. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't get that wrong. So
say hi to the LaHoods for me, please.
There you go. I will. And first of all, I'm glad the White Sox only gave up 13 runs last night to the Iowa Cubs. So that's good to know. If you could, and I don't know if Ms. McNamara has sent your information to our staff, to the minority staff, Republican staff, but we would like to see that information as well that you've submitted, and we can get that. Our staff, Dan Weber, who's on here, can get that from Ms. McNamara. I would hope, if we haven't seen it yet. My question is, so you guys have done a great job testifying at these hearings. A lot of these groups have done, a lot of the groups, advocacy groups have done a great job. And specifically about Southwest Cook, we've heard about this several times. And it is your expectation now that you've submitted this information that you hope that a district to you, what you've described, would be included in a whatever the revised maps are going to be that we're going to vote on in 72 hours, correct?
Correct, Mr. Butler, yes.
And do you know, I mean, I know you've submitted it to the Democratic staff. Do you know who's drawing the maps?
I don't know who's drawing the maps. We have met with various people in the last 2 years regarding this. The previous speaker and chairman of the Democratic Party. My brother's a Republican committeeman in York Township. We have talked to everybody, and it seems that we're not making very much progress until this opportunity today.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Finally, I would tell you that I could share on screen that report. I did send it to Ali. I don't know if Ali McNamara is still on. Maybe she could acknowledge receipt of the package I scanned to her last night. Well, I don't want to share a screen and take up your time, but
let's do it. Whatever materials you've sent, I'm sure we'll be able to disseminate.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.